Hey all, this is Paul and Natasha from Nomadic-AF team, and today we're going to talk about your weekly travel news.
Yeah, hi. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the new frequent flyer tax that is being proposed by the UK. So this levy is going to cost frequent flyers a lot of money. So your first flight's free, and then every subsequent flight after that you get charged per emission per flight. So this could add upwards of 1,300 euros, around 1,400 USD, to trips for people that are taking these long haul transatlantic flights, like from New York to London, for example. It's just the prices are insane. So
Oh wow, so you're being punished
yeah,
for
you're paying
longer haul traveling?
per ton that your flight is causing.
Wow. All right, next in the travel news this week is Japan is going to implement a two-tiered tourism pricing plan. And this starts in July 2025.
Okay.
And basically what it is tourists are just going to pay a little bit more to see the major tourist attractions in Japan.
Okay.
So they're just building up money to improve infrastructure and to maybe combat some over tourism.
Okay,
So
we have that here in Mexico too.
yeah, like tourists pay extra to get into parks and stuff
Yeah,
more
so
than
the
the locals.
locals can see the stuff without paying exorbitant
Yeah,
amounts.
yeah.
Nice. Moving on to Spain, where they are trying to combat over tourism as well. In 2024, they had 9.4 million visitors.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so they're trying to combat a lot of the stuff like smoking. Smoking has been banned since 2011, but they're doing it in a lot of the outdoor areas and beaches now. They're canceling a lot of the alcohol-related things like pub crawls and stuff like that,
Wow.
and they're fining people for basically any kind of debauchery or bad tourism. For example, peeing in the ocean is
Oh,
going to cause a giant fine now, 750 euros.
who's gonna determine that? I wonder. But
Yeah,
okay,
I don't
that's
know.
fine.
Yeah, underwater urination, they're calling it.
Okay.
But basically, even they're cutting down on tourists, where tourists can rent cars and drive cars, and they're coming up with all these new rules.
Oh wow.
So it's really good to keep an eye on the new rules that are emerging if you're getting ready to go to a trip to Spain.
Yeah, and I also read Spain is doing away with a bunch of Airbnbs in residential areas next year too.
They're not
So
outright banned, but in historic areas, they are being banned to combat a lot of the over tourism.
right on. Check your Airbnb in Spain, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, well, in airline news now, Southwest has ended their 50-year policy of free bags. So,
No.
yeah, so if you're a Southwest flyer, and if you're just a rando flyer, you get no free bags anymore at all.
It used to be two, right?
It used to be two free
Okay.
checked bags. If you're their elite, what is it called? Let me look. So, the highest status is A-list preferred.
Okay.
You still get your two bags.
Oh, okay.
And if you're just A-list, you get one free bag checked.
Okay.
And if you have a Southwest branded credit card, you get one free checked bag.
Okay.
So they're really kind of screwing over
Anybody that's
anybody
not
that's
signing
not
up for their credit card?
exactly.
Yeah.
So be prepared. This starts May 28th, 2025. No
Oh,
more
yeah.
free bags on Southwest
Yeah.
unless you're a part of their preferred programs.
I wonder if this counts for if you've already bought your ticket.
I don't know. You might want to check and find
Yeah,
out.
for sure. Okay, so in other airline news, and this is for mostly domestic flights, this is based on Breeze Airlines. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're
I've
kind
never-
of an up-and-coming new budget airline. Their fares are 40% lower than average budget airlines in the United
wow.
States. Yeah, they've won all kinds of awards in 2024. They're like the fastest growing airline. But they just added 19 new routes out of 3 different cities, all of which are domestic. So you can go from like New York or Tennessee. Those are the 2 locations in New York and 1 in Tennessee you can go from. And they're offering all these new routes. And they also have, excuse me, introduced these breeze through routes. So it's basically with a layover, but you don't get off the plane. So
Oh, yeah, okay,
So,
so I see.
so you can breeze through a location. So they're offering 19 new routes, and they're all domestic routes, but they're all to like pretty popular areas like Fort Myers and stuff like Tampa,
All right,
stuff like
so
that.
cheap flying in the States.
Yeah, yeah,
Right
for
on.
sure.
All right, and finally in travel news, kind of disheartening for the United States what's going on with ICE and immigration and everything. And not only are they wrapping up desperate people trying to come over the borders, they're rounding up Europeans, Canadians, Australians. They're detaining them for long-term, like months or weeks or months
Wow.
in detention centers, basically for just crossing the border and not answering the questions correctly. So I think just in the end of February and beginning of March, something like 4 Europeans and Canadians have been detained and jailed for weeks.
And they're finding this through like social media and just chats and stuff when you go
Well,
through immigration?
they're not answering questions right. One of them had mentioned that she was babysitting for somebody. Well, that's working.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know,
that counts as
another
working, yeah.
another didn't have like letterhead on her business filing, and she was detained for a week and thrown in jail. Two
Yeah.
different jails.
And right now they're really short-staffed too.
Yeah, they're super short staffed, so nothing's moving quickly. So if you have a layover or a quick breeze through the United States, you might want to rethink that for now.
For now, yeah. All right, so that's it for our travel news. We're going to put all of the links to these articles in the description below, including the calculator for where you can calculate how much tax you're going to incur on these with
UK flights.
Yeah, the UK frequent flyer taxes. Got anything else?
That's it.
All right, we'll see you next week.
Lates.